Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are immersing ourselves. Well, maybe immersing is a bit formal.
Yeah,
We're really digging into a truly exceptional career.
absolutely. A career that started, way back in the sort of gritty world of 60s British TV.
Right, low-budget stuff, something.
Exactly. And somehow, decades later, ended up with, what, an Oscar nomination, an international theatrical sweep. It's quite something.
It's quite the journey. And that's what we want to explore, isn't it? This performer who just mastered the art of reinvention managed to hit this incredible dual peak, you know? Recognition in two totally different arenas.
It really is a study in professional resilience, I'd say, and strategic choices, too. So, yeah, we're taking a deep dive into the extraordinary life and legacy of the beloved British actress Pauline Collins. Her active career spanned, 55 years? Amazing. From 1962 right up to 2017.
Wow.
And sadly, she leaves behind this powerful body of work, having passed away just recently, November 5th, 2025. She was 85, passed away in Highgate, London.
So our mission today, really, is to understand the mechanics of this. How did one actress manage to define herself first as Sarah Moffat? You know, that quick-witted, really groundbreaking maid on 70s prestige TV.
Upstairs, downstairs.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Totally. And then, nearly 2 decades later, successfully pivot, conquer the West End, Broadway, Hollywood, as Shirley Valentine.
Yeah.
The philosophical, sort of ordinary housewife.
It's an almost unprecedented transition, really. You don't see that often.
No.
And we should probably acknowledge right at the start, her contribution was formally recognized. She was honored as an Officer of the Order of the British Empire, the OBE.
Right, the OBE.
That was in the 2001 Birthday Honors for services to drama. And that distinction, well, it speaks volumes about the impact she had, doesn't it? Moving so sort of effortlessly between popular TV and the absolute highest levels of international stage and cinema.
It really does. So, to fully appreciate that success, I guess we have to start right at the beginning. Trace the foundations.
Exactly. Her early life, her first professional choices, that's where the groundwork was laid.
Okay, let's unpack this journey then. Looking at Pauline Angela Collins' early life, her foundations seem quite intellectual, actually. A bit removed from the theater world initially. Born September 3rd, 1940 in Exmouth, Devon. But her upbringing was really shaped by these two powerful academic figures, her parents, Mary Nera and William Henry Collins, both school head teachers.
That detail is vital, I think. It immediately gives you a context for the kind of grounded intelligence she brought to her roles later.
Right.
She was raised in this highly disciplined educational environment, grew up Catholic in Wallasey, Cheshire,
Right.
and we know she had strong Irish roots, Irish extraction.
Okay.
But what's particularly interesting is while her parents were educators, there was this deep artistic sort of lineage in her family tree, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A literary background, you mean?
Exactly. Her great-uncle was Jeremiah Joseph Callanan, a recognized Irish poet.
No kidding.
Yeah. So you have this mix, right? The rigor of academia from her parents, but also this poetic, expressive vein running through her ancestry.
That's fascinating. Discipline and artistry.
And it feels like it manifests in the kinds of characters she played so well. You know, smart women, often observers, philosophers in their own way, whether they were serving tea upstairs or, well, talking to a wall.
Yeah. That discipline definitely carried over into her early career path. She was educated at Sacred Heart High School in London, then serious study at the Central School of Speech and Drama.
Top drama school.
But she didn't just leap straight into acting, did she? Our sources say she actually worked as a teacher until 1962.
That's right, that practical, real-world experience. You gotta think that fed into her acting technique somehow, gave her a certain credibility, maybe realism.
I think so. She was a professional before she was a celebrity, in a way.
Definitely. Her stage debut came pretty quickly after she stopped teaching, though. 1962, A Gazelle in Park Lane out in Windsor.
Okay.
Then by 1965, she'd made her West End debut, Passion Flower Hotel. And while she was doing theater, she also got her first feature film role, Secrets of a Windmill Girl. That came out in 66.
So she was building across both stage and screen right from the start.
Simultaneously, yeah. A solid repertoire.
And building a footprint on UK television, too, which was, the really big medium connecting with mass audiences in the 60s.
Absolutely crucial back then.
Interestingly, one of her very first appearances, way back in 1960, was on Emergency Ward 10.
Oh, the classic.
Which was, critically, the UK's first medical soap opera. So she was right there at the cutting edge of popular TV. Then later roles like a 5-episode run in The Liverbirds in 69.
But the really seismic moment,
Yeah.
The professional choice that you could argue determined the whole path of her life afterwards. That happened in 1967.
Ah, the famous Doctor Who story.
That's the one.
Let's zoom in here because it really is a masterclass in, well, career decision-making, isn't it?
It really is.
So this is the original run of Doctor Who. Collins plays a character called Samantha Briggs in the serial The Faceless Ones.
And she was great in it. The character was smart, energetic.
Audiences responded well.
Oh, definitely. And the showrunners noticed. They saw how well she performed the role, and she got offered the chance, a really coveted opportunity back then to stay on, to continue as a new, regular companion for the Doctor.
Which would have meant, what, a long-running gig, globally visible, financially stable?
Exactly, in a show that was fast becoming this huge genre phenomenon.
And she said no.
She walked away, declined the offer.
You have to think, for actors in the late 60s, especially women, taking a long-term genre role like a Doctor Who companion, that almost certainly meant typecasting, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It would have been very hard, I think, to imagine her being taken seriously for the kind of dramatic, class-focused roles that came next if she'd been primarily known as, a sci-fi sidekick.
So it was a conscious choice, rejecting sort of easy fame, maybe, the genre constraint.
I think so. In favor of character depth, long-form drama, that refusal feels like the single most important decision of her early career.
By saying no, she kind of signaled to the industry, didn't she?
Yeah.
That she was prioritizing quality, versatility, developing these grounded characters.
Precisely, which positioned her perfectly for the dramatic explosion that was just around the corner.
And that sets the stage perfectly for Section 2, the Sarah Moffat era. Because turning down Doctor Who meant she was available for the role that basically defined British television in the 1970s.
Absolutely. Sarah Moffat in Upstairs, Downstairs.
Not a show.
A cultural landmark. Collins was in it from 71 to 73, wasn't she, across the first two series. And she was just central to its success.
It wasn't just a costume drama, was it? It was doing something more. Looking at the rigid British class system, early 20th century.
Deeply sociological, yeah. You had the upstairs families with all their melodrama, but the downstairs staff, they were the engine. They provided the relatable human drama.
And Sarah Moffat was the perfect character for that. She wasn't, just meekly serving.
Not at all. She was sharp, often really determined, incredibly resourceful as the maid. She gave you that essential working class perspective.
Always pushing against the rules a bit, wasn't she?
Yeah, trying to circumvent things. That provided a lot of the conflict and honestly a lot of the fun. Collins just imbued Sarah with this inherent intelligence. She was more than a servant. She felt like a survivor, an astute observer of how absurd the upper class could be.
It's that contrast, isn't it? Between the Bellamy family upstairs and the staff like Sarah downstairs.
Yeah.
Their values, their ambitions, that's what made it so gripping.
Totally. And while all this professional success was happening, her personal life and career started to intertwine. She married the actor John Alderton in 1969.
Right.
And their collaboration immediately became this defining feature of both their careers.
A real power couple for British TV back then.
The quintessential one, maybe. Alderton actually joined her in the second series of Upstairs, Downstairs.
Capitalizing on that chemistry they obviously had.
Exactly. And their characters, the maid and the chauffeur, Thomas, they were so popular, the public just wanted more.
Which led directly to the spin-off series in 1979, Thomas and Sarah.
Yes, which is a huge testament to how much audiences connected with those specific characters played by them.
But their partnership went way beyond just historical drama, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They showed incredible versatility together. They starred in that successful sitcom no, honestly.
13 episodes in 74 showed off their comedic timing.
Then they followed that up collaborating on the anthology series Wodehouse Playhouse, adapting P.G. Wodehouse stories. That was 75 to 76.
So they're moving effortlessly between prestige drama, historical romance, light comedy.
And then years later, proving they'd captured imaginations across generations, they even co-narrated that popular animated kids series, Little Miss, in 1983.
I remember that. They really built this shared multi-platform brand together.
They did. And that deep dive into pop culture even led to some, quirky memorabilia.
Go on.
The sources remind us that while Upstairs, Downstairs was still airing, Collins actually recorded a commercial single in 1973.
A song?
Yeah, called What Are We Gonna Do with Uncle Arthur? It was a song her character, Sarah, actually performed within the show.
That's amazing. So she wasn't just acting, she was fully embedded in the whole cultural landscape of the early 70s.
Completely. And all this high-quality, high-visibility work, it didn't go unnoticed by the industry, obviously.
Well, you'd expect not.
By 1973, she was already getting major recognition. She earned a nomination for a British Academy Television Award, a BAFTA for Best Actress.
Okay.
And that was for her combined work across Upstairs, Downstairs, and another more dramatic anthology series, Country Matters, Crippled Bloom.
That BAFTA nomination is so important, isn't it? Because it really validates that earlier decision she made to focus on character depth over, say, the Doctor Who path.
Absolutely. By the mid-70s, she's successful, critically acclaimed in Britain, professionally stable, but exactly, she was still largely a British star. The global recognition, that true international peak, that was still nearly 2 decades away.
Right.
And when it hit, wow, it hit with the force of a cultural phenomenon.
That dramatic shift is exactly what brings us to Section 3, the global peak. Shirley Valentine.
Shirley Valentine, yeah. This single role, it didn't just transform her career. It became this global symbol, didn't it? Female self-discovery, empowerment, late 1980s.
And it started, as the best character work often does, on the stage.
Willie Russell's one-woman play, Shirley Valentine, opened in London 1988, Collins in the title role, and it was just an instant theatrical sensation. Massive critical praise, huge audiences.
The success was so immediate, so overwhelming. An international transfer felt inevitable, I suppose.
It moved really quickly to Broadway in 1989. And what happened next was just, well, it's an award sweep that people still talk about in theater history.
The sheer volume of awards she picked up for that one performance, it's almost hard to grasp.
It really is. She managed to get the top theatrical awards on both sides of the Atlantic for the same role. That's incredibly rare, reserved for the most extraordinary talents.
Okay, let's listen, because they are truly monumental. She won the Laurence Olivier Award for Best Actress, the Olivier, in '88 for the London run.
Right. Top UK Theatre Award.
Then she gets to New York, and she wins the Tony Award for Best Actress in a play in 1989.
The Tony. The biggest one on Broadway. Unbelievable.
But it wasn't just the majors, was it? She basically dominated the entire theatrical season. The source material lists this cascade of recognition.
Yeah, she also won the Drama Desk Award, the Drama League Award for Distinguished Performance, the Outer Critics Circle Award, and the Theatre World Award.
Wow. Just swept the board.
That kind of total victory in a single season, it tells you this wasn't just a great performance. It was a performance that tapped into something the audience universally needed or felt.
And it showcased her incredible mastery, didn't it? Sustaining that complex, emotionally demanding story completely alone on stage for 2 hours.
Incredible stamina and skill.
And because the stage success was just so enormous, the film version was immediately greenlit, 1989, with Collins reprising the role naturally.
And this is the leap, isn't it? The translation that turned her into a genuine international cinematic star.
Right. And the film awards mirrored the stage success almost perfectly.
They did. She won the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role, securing the top British Film Prize for it.
Okay.
She also got the Evening Standard British Film Award and something called a Golden Apple Award.
But the crowning achievement, obviously, the thing that cemented her global status, that was the Hollywood recognition.
For the film, she was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actress.
The Oscar nomination.
And the Golden Globe Award for Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture Musical or Comedy.
So winning the Olivier, the Tony, the BAFTA, and getting the Oscar nomination, all for playing the same character, moving seamlessly from that intimate stage performance to this huge international screen presence.
It's genuinely one of the rarest accomplishments in modern acting history. Truly extraordinary.
Why did that character resonate so powerfully, do you think?
Well, the writing by Willie Russell is brilliant, obviously. But Collins' interpretation, it just broke through traditional dramatic walls. Shirley Valentine is this, ordinary Liverpool housewife. Feels overlooked, life lacks joy, until she takes this spontaneous holiday to Greece and finds this profound self-discovery.
And the technique they used was quite groundbreaking for film then, wasn't it? Even though it's common in theater.
Breaking the fourth wall, yeah.
Shirley Valentine speaks directly to the audience, to the camera, sharing her inner thoughts, her frustrations, her hopes, her little philosophical insights.
That direct address created this incredible intimacy. It allowed millions of people, particularly women maybe, who felt trapped or overlooked in their own lives to feel seen. You weren't just watching a character, you felt like you were being confided in by a friend.
That connection just transcended language and culture, didn't it?
It really did. It was this intensely private journey, but played out in the most public way possible.
And the cultural ripple effect was huge. We've got this fantastic, slightly surprising piece of pop culture data that perfectly illustrates how her image transformed.
Oh, yes. Following the film's release and its global success in 1990, Pauline Collins was voted the sexiest woman in Britain.
Isn't that amazing? Think about that journey.
Mm-hmm.
From the earnest, class-conscious maid Sarah Moffat in the 70s
Right.
to being recognized internationally
Mm.
as this figure of desire and complex female confidence.
It was a complete professional and public rebranding. It established her as this leading lady, fully capable of embodying mature female desire and intellectual freedom.
Just a sensational and hugely successful second act to her career.
Absolutely.
Now, moving into Section 4, she didn't just sort of sit back after hitting that global peak, did she?
Not at all. She immediately diversified, showed the industry she was still committed to range, and importantly, still committed to those successful professional partnerships.
Right.
So right after Shirley Valentine, she immediately returned to British television. Starred again with John Alderton in that popular ITV drama series Forever Green.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Ran for 18 episodes, 89 to 92.
Exactly. It showed that even with these new global film aspirations, she was still committed to quality British episodic drama.
Her later film work really shows her range, too, doesn't it? Moving easily across genres, continents.
Definitely. Think about the difference in these roles. 1992, she's in the gritty international drama City of Joy, playing Joan Bethel. Filmed in India, a really serious, dramatic departure from Shirley Valentine.
Big shift.
Then she moved into these major historical ensemble pictures. In 1997, she played Daisy Margaret Drummond in Paradise Road, that film about female prisoners of war.
Right.
She also reunited with Alderton for the 2002 film Mrs. Caldecott's Cabbage War.
Ah, yes.
What's really notable about this later phase, I think, is how consistently she chose to be part of ensemble projects, supporting the wider story rather than just chasing lead roles all the time.
That's a good point.
Mm.
And as she got into her later years, she became really valued for bringing that grounding, that weight to ensemble casts packed with other acting legends.
Totally. Think about those two key roles in the early 2010s. She was in Albert Nobbs in 2011, and then in 2012, she played Cissy Robson in the film Quartet.
Oh, Quartet. Great film.
Directed by Dustin Hoffman, wasn't it? She shared the screen there with Maggie Smith, Tom Courtenay, Billy Connolly. I mean, acting titans.
Absolutely.
And her performance as Cissy, the retired opera singer dealing with the effects of dementia, it was just characterized by this profound subtlety, this nuance. These later roles really let her showcase that deep, honest character work that defined her early success, but now with a whole lifetime of experience layered on top.
Beautifully put. And beyond film, her TV work continued to focus on prestige projects. She took the lead role, Harriet Smith, in The Ambassador. That was a 13-episode series, 98-99. But where her style, that grounded, intelligent style, really shone again was in literary adaptations.
Yes. This is where you see that intellectual rigor again, maybe from her head teacher parents coming back. Interpreting someone like Dickens requires immense precision, doesn't it? Historical linguistic.
Definitely. She played the haunting figure of Miss Flight in that magnificent 2005 BBC production of Bleak House. She was in 10 episodes.
Brilliant performance.
And then a decade later, she returned to Dickens again, showing that mastery of historical characters. She played Mrs. Gamp in the series Dickensian, appeared in 20 episodes, 2015, 2016.
These later TV roles just confirm her status, don't they, as this foundational actress for British dramatic storytelling.
Absolutely.
And this brings us back kind of full circle to that crucial turning point from 1967. Remember the path she consciously chose not to take.
The long-term companion role on Doctor Who?
Huh?
The refusal that paved the way for Sarah Moffat.
Exactly. Well, decades later, the franchise welcomed her back. In 2006, she made the spectacular, really memorable appearance in the new series episode Tooth and Claw.
Oh, I remember that one.
This time, though, she wasn't playing a young potential companion. She was playing a towering historical authority figure, Queen Victoria herself.
Taking on werewolves in her Scottish castle was great.
It was fantastic, but the historical significance of the casting is even bigger, isn't it?
How so?
That appearance made her only the third actor in history to have appeared in both the original Doctor Who series, back in '67, and the revived series in 2006.
Wow, only the third. That's surprisingly rare.
It is, because the industry changes so fast, people move on. It signifies not just an incredible career longevity, but the deep respect she commanded from the industry. To be invited back for such a high-profile role.
It perfectly validates her initial choice, doesn't it? by refusing to be defined by that genre early on.
She later earned the right to choose any role she wanted, even within that same genre, but this time on her own terms, with complete professional authority.
It's a fantastic arc. We should probably turn now, though, to Section 5. Cover her personal life, the honors she received, and some of the more sensitive aspects of her story that really contributed to her legacy of, well, emotional transparency.
Right. We've mentioned her long and clearly successful marriage to John Alderton. Started in 1969. They raised 3 children together, lived in Hampstead, London. A very stable family life, it seems. But our sources detail this private yet profoundly significant event that Pauline Collins very courageously shared publicly later in her life.
This is before her marriage to Alderton, right?
Yes. She had a daughter with the actor Tony Rohr, and this daughter was placed for adoption back in 1964. It's a sensitive part of her history, but it is publicly documented.
It is, and the importance, I think, lies in how she handled it.
Exactly. She eventually reunited with her daughter Louise 21 years after the adoption. And this whole complex, incredibly emotional process, the adoption, the searching, the reunion, it became the subject of her autobiography in 1992.
Which she titled, very directly, Letter to Louise.
Yes. Publishing that book must have taken immense bravery.
Oh, absolutely. It spoke volumes about her transparency, her willingness to share difficult human experiences with the world.
And that honesty, that vulnerability she showed in her personal life, it really mirrored the kind of emotional reality she brought to her work on stage and screen, didn't it? Especially in roles like Shirley Valentine. She made the deeply personal feel universal.
She really did. And of course, the culmination of this distinguished, incredibly diverse career, it earned her that official recognition from the Crown.
The OBE, yes. We mentioned her appointment as Officer of the Order of the British Empire in the 2001 birthday honors. And that title, it's not just ceremonial, is it? It's confirmation of her vital services to drama. It acknowledges how she really elevated British stage, television, and film throughout the whole second half of the 20th century.
A huge contribution. Now, in her final years, the source material does confirm she was suffering from Parkinson's disease.
Yes. And apparently, she faced this illness with the same kind of quiet determination she brought to so many of her characters. She died peacefully, age 85, on November 5th, 2025, while in a care home in Highgate, London.
The end of a truly remarkable 55-year career.
And one defined, I think, by her unique ability to inhabit women who often felt overlooked by society. You know, the maid, the housewife, the marginalized figure, and give them dignity, wit, and this powerful, resonating voice.
So, as we reflect on this incredible biography, we really are left with that potent contrast between her 2 most famous creations, aren't we?
Definitely. You have Sarah Moffat, sharp, determined, aspirational, always trying to improve her station, her status in the world of upstairs, downstairs.
Right. Striving.
And then counterbalancing that, you have Shirley Valentine. Philosophical, ordinary, but achieving this profound internal transformation. Self-discovery just by breaking away, not necessarily changing her social standing.
And Pauline Collins was just uniquely skilled at connecting those 2 types of women. The striving and the searching and making their inner lives feel completely universal to audiences everywhere.
She absolutely was.
The major accomplishment we keep coming back to, the thing that just sums up her mastery.
Yeah.
It's that exceptional, almost unbelievable achievement, isn't it? Winning the Olivier, the Tony, and the BAFTA for the exact same performance in Shirley Valentine.
That transition across stage and screen formats, it just speaks volumes about her power to completely inhabit and define a character. It's the ultimate validation of her craft and her versatility.
Really?
And if you look back over the whole arc, her career feels defined by strategic choice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
An initial refusal, turning down the early fame and potential typecasting of Doctor Who back in '67.
That allowed her to pursue the serious, character-driven drama.
Exactly. That early decision to choose depth over maybe more immediate, widespread celebrity. That paved the way for Sarah Moffat. And ultimately, it ensured she had the foundational skills, the integrity, the emotional depth needed to deliver a world-conquering performance like Shirley Valentine 2 decades later.
She built her career not by accident, you feel, but by choosing the harder, maybe, the character-focused path every time.
I think that's right.
So for listeners who want to explore her work beyond those 2 huge, iconic roles, What would you recommend?
Well, I highly recommend seeking out one of her later ensemble film roles, specifically maybe Quartet from 2012. Watching her performance as Cissy Robson alongside those other legends, it's just a masterclass in subtle, layered acting. It's a fantastic illustration of the depth she brought to every single project, right up until the final years of her active career.
A wonderful suggestion. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the life and lasting legacy of the truly remarkable Pauline Collins.